Hey, everyone. Hey. It is your girl, Precious Williams, and welcome back to another exciting edition of the Keeping It Real with the Killer Pitchmaster Show. I'm your proud host, Precious Williams, the Killer Pitchmaster, Ultimate Rainmaker, and Creative Outsider. As you know, usually on Sundays, I come in here and talk to you about some of the lessons that I've learned in business, some of the aha moments, especially when it comes to pitching, marketing, branding, really getting yourself out there, gaining visibility. And as you know, as a killer pitch master, I'm a 13-time national elevator pitch champion, 5-time number one best-selling author, and top Fortune 100 corporate sales trainer. So today I kind of want to talk to you about something that listen, I'm gonna be in and out today. Today Empower the Village is having their award ceremony. So right before the Super Bowl. So today's episode is all about being vulnerable and asking. And as I've been thinking about this for a while, I want to share something with you. And as you come in, I'm glad you're going to be here. And if you catch it in replay, that's fine too. So the past week, I've been on a great emotional roller coaster. One, incredibly grateful and appreciative for the opportunities that come my way. Two, uh, when my team and I decided like a year and a half ago about rebranding and knowing that we were operating in a totally different space, what did that really mean? How did we want to come out? What does it mean to be the celebrity of your own brand that you created? What does it mean for people to see you in a brand new light? And people have seen me as a killer pitch master for so long that that's the only thing they think that I'm capable of. And then having corporate clients and those who need to see a plot twist and a flipping of the script. And then three, who was I becoming? My backstory is filled with a lot of trauma, drama, and stress, and incredible highs and incredible lows. However, through all of that, I am becoming what my grandmother saw. I'm becoming what, as a little girl, I hoped I would become. And so today, about being vulnerable and asking. Last week, I had the pleasure of being invited to a sisterhood mastermind, and the other three queen sisters that were in there, we were sharing, highs, lows, and everything. And something in me, I just started crying because I was feeling some type of way about all the great things that were happening to me, especially after November and December that made absolutely no sense. And until the middle of January, just things didn't make sense. And I couldn't figure out what was happening. And very few friends I shared with what I was really experiencing and feeling. And although I feel good after talking about it, I still had this anxiety. Truth of the matter is, this year I was not alone. And I'm hearing the stories of what other kings and queens were going through. Yes, I was really hearing it. And it was such a blessing. So I just started crying because in the midst of greatness, there were still things that were bothering me. And my sister queens let me cry. And, sometimes there's that awkward silence. And I didn't know if I had revealed too much about what was going on, if they had me in high esteem. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, she really is human. And anyway, so the next day, instead of listening to certain songs or watching certain things, I just started putting on love songs from the past. I started putting on like happy music that had me feeling some type of way. And I tell y'all, it instantly changed my mood. I was walking down the street listening to Ronnie Millsap's Any Day Now, and I wouldn't have missed it for the world. I was listening to Luther Vandross, Never Too Much, Never Too Much, Never Too Much. And on. All these great songs were happening. I was just, I was in, don't let me get in my zone. I was in it. And then that allowed me to come home, and I just started, just doing self-care and really taking time to love on me, like Jack Harlow said, I'm loving on me. And it was loving on me in a different way. It wasn't just taking a shower. It was really allowing myself to see and feel me. There's no business being done. There was none of that. And it was amazing, y'all. It was so amazing. And later on, I went downstairs because they were having chocolates and candy, chocolates and flowers. And there was a rose waiting for me, but they ran out of the chocolates. I ain't worried about that because, I already got some chocolate. All right. Came upstairs with that rose and I felt so good. And it's like, I am loved beyond measure. And then I thought back through last week and even this morning, I was having conversations with queens. And what was so beautiful is in these moments of being vulnerable and talking about things that aren't shared on social media, things that aren't, people feel embarrassed talking about, and just realizing that none of us are alone. So let me jump back to what happened last week. So God told me to reach out to certain people about this idea that I had. And in the midst of me reaching out, there were people that I'd never reached out to before. One, I was afraid. Number two, did we had that kind of a relationship, but I just trusted God. And so I reached out to these people. And when I tell y'all, I was surprised by the response. Well, I had a conversation with two dope queens and very life changing and life affirming and all of that. But one of them totally got the idea and added some stankonia on it. Suffice it to say that I cried after the call because not only did the queen get it, she had bigger thoughts on it. And this is a woman that I've never had the pleasure to really talk in depth about anything as it pertained to me. And it was just a go from get go. I'd already proven myself to her. I'd already done things. And you think, oh, well, I don't think certain people see me. They do. So being vulnerable and asking, even people you usually don't interact with, it can pay off. So then yesterday I was at Empower the Village's Empowerment Expo 2024 at Montclair State University. I've never been to this university. Beautiful. When I tell you the source came out, like it was, people attending, it was sessions and all this other kind of stuff. And I met a particular gentleman who I've seen at different events, but we talked differently this time. He was telling me about some new initiatives. And when I tell y'all, he was talking about a new initiative, and for the first time, I put myself out there in front of him. And I said, this is something you may not know about me and how we've been growing in our company. And he lit up because I said something that he didn't know. And from there, wanting to talk more about the things that my team and I had been creating that had been in stealth mode and possibly having that as a part of a curriculum. So the reason why I said about being vulnerable and asking was the normal Precious would have just sat and listened to and would have been afraid to approach certain people because how do I measure up? Not that I don't have imposter syndrome, but just do we have a connection? And not only did we have a connection, they've been watching and paying attention. So it wasn't like cold anything. So why am I saying this to y'all and to keep it real with the Killer Pitchmaster show? Is that in my vulnerability, in my being honest, in my deficits, in my flaws, there's still genius there. And because I was able to talk to some queens and some kings and queens in the Idea Collective under Pat Miller, Susie Moore, and Talmar Anderson, and then in the Dames, and then with Catherine Rose, and then with on my board, and then with Empower the Village under Io Sanderson, my business coach, and all of them. Everyone's been pulling their weight to make sure that I stand on business, but I also stand on creating something that hasn't been seen before or hasn't been done the way that I thought. And so today, when I was having these great conversations with these queens and they were sharing with me how they saw me, it was that light bulb moment that in everything that I had been doing, even though I was thinking it was taking way too much time, it really wasn't. So I hope that this blesses you, that there are people who are watching you, and until you ask, until you send that email, until you ask for their thoughts on something, that's when you activate them gladly helping. So in my being vulnerable and admitting that towards the end of last year, it was so horrific, it changed the trajectory of where I am today. I also want to shout out Ingrid Vandervelt, Big Red, Deb Boulanger, Ruchi Penninger, Tanya Sturro, Kate Luzio. I also want to shout out Tanya Hicks, Michelle. I want to uh, shout out so many of my kings and queens and sisters for all of y'all. And there are many more who blessed me and said my name in certain circles. I thank you from the bottom of my heart to the depths of my soul. Being vulnerable matters. And to end, if you want to find out more, or if you're interested in how I teach and train the world's biggest companies and entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs, how to slay all competition with a killer pitch, how to develop the right client acquisition systems, business development, and sales, in addition to kick-ass pitch. Check us out at www.perfectpitchgroup.com. If you would like to get a sample of the first chapter of my book, Rainmaking 101, or if you'd like a couple of other free gifts to give you a taste of what we are creating and get up on that, go to www.perfectpitchgroup.com/free-gifts and take advantage. You can also get on our newsletter. We really appreciate it. We'd love to have you. And I hope that being vulnerable and asking and actually telling you what happened afterwards. Listen, I'm not 100% perfect. I don't have a 100% success rate in anything. Not even my pitches. I'm a 13 out of 14 time national champion. My point in getting here today is don't give up. And sometimes the people you've been asking it hasn't moved the needle forward may require you to step outside of that and ask others who you've been afraid to, because that can change the needle. Again, my name is Precious Williams. I'm the proud founder and CEO of the Perfect Pitch Group. And welcome back to another exciting and short edition of the Keeping It Real with the Killer Pitchmaster Show. Today, I'm blessed to go to the Empower the Villages award ceremony, where we learn out of the 6 finalists who's won the major pitch competition, their prizes and everything, and also giving awards to the best in Black business. I'll see you all later. Take care. Mwah. And wait, there's someone who came. Hey, Trudy. Love, love. Yes. And so if you need any of the links, let me know. And just so you all know, it's been a pleasure. Thank you to my new clients and my new customers. We sold out of all of our books, and I am blessed that I have quite a few great speaking engagements this year. Shout out to Babson College. Shout out to University of Georgia at Athens. Shout out to Bayview University. Shout out to, yeah, check on the website. We're updating daily the upcoming speaking engagements, training opportunities, and you ain't seen nothing yet. Love you all from the bottom of my heart to the depths of my soul. Keep coming back. This show gets better and better. Here's the Keeping It Real with the Killer Pitchmaster Show. I am your proud host, Precious L. Wins, Killer Pitchmaster. Slay all competition. And what? Pitch, please. See y'all later. Bye.